So let's see. First, we have a new member of the Historic Preservation Commission, which is Chantal Ryan, just recently appointed by the Select Board. So welcome, Chantal. We're very happy to have you.
It's awfully nice to join you. What good work you guys do. I have a lot to learn, but I will listen. And I always get my preservation magazine every month, so I'm into it.
Excellent. Way to go.
Yeah.
So, well, why don't we start with 320 Old Stockbridge Road. I see that we have Dick Lobo and Michael Valenti here for the applicants. The other people on the call, I think you've met them, are Georgia Marston is on the commission, Lisa Sauer is on the commission, and myself, Peter Williams, and Chantal. So we have a quorum here, and so Dick and Michael, take it away as you see fit.
Peter, thank you very much for putting us on the agenda at the late hour. And Michael is going to take the lead in presenting. I'll stand by and listen. And if he needs me to fill in any of the blanks or any of the questions that you might have, I'll be available. But Karen Lobo and I purchased this property last winter, and we're ready to commence the renovation, given the approval of the commission. Michael?
Good evening, everyone. Nice to have you have us here. Thanks for setting this up at the last moment. I actually have quite a bit of history with this building, and it's not the first time I've been in front of this commission to discuss it. This is the third owner of the property that's actually engaged me in some form. Back in, got to be at least 7 years ago, someone had me look at it. And then I know Pam did some work on it for the second owner, who I also did some work with before she was on board. And now I'm back again. So I actually brought some older photos of it back from when I looked at it the first time. And then I've got some updated ones from this time now. Can everyone hear me okay before I go any further? Is it possible to share my screen? I do have some stuff I can show you.
So. Why don't you give it a try and we'll see if it works. I think Steve is in the background in case we need any help.
Screen share is open. Feel free to share.
Okay, let's see if I can do that. So what would I do? Just go to share content. I don't have screen share available.
Look at the bottom of your Zoom screen. There should be something that says share screen, a little green icon.
Let me try this. No, that doesn't work.
You should also have your document open before you start.
Yeah, it's open I'm on my iPad, so as soon as I close this, it'll go up. I remember I've done it
Michael,
before.
I'm on my iPad and the share content is up on the top right hand corner in green. It says share content.
Yeah, it says share content, but then it says which thing I want to use. Sorry, I haven't done it like this way before. I just want to share my screen. Is that not possible?
Should be possible. From the Zoom screen, there should be a menu with a list
if you tap at the top of your iPad screen, a little drop-down menu will come down that says Zoom, and there's a green button that says share screen.
I'm not seeing it.
Did you tap at the top of your iPad?
Yeah, it comes down and then there's I got mute, stop video, share content, shows me the participants.
Oh, that's weird. Mine says, on the Zoom screen, it says mute, stop video, share screen.
Yeah, I don't have that.
Huh.
Zoom upgrades its application frequently. If you haven't upgraded in a while, it might be out of date.
Wonder if that's, you know what I could do? I have an idea. Hold on one second. Sorry to hold you up here. Just give me one moment, please. I have a computer in front of me here too. I'm wondering if it will let me do it that way.
That sounds like a good idea. Yes, I'm going to admit you to the room right now, Michael.
Yeah.
Where's Pam? She knows how to do this stuff.
Pam is away today. But I think this may work, Michael.
Let's see if I got share screen. Okay, all right. Let me try this real quick. 1 second. Then I'll talk on this one. Let me make sure I'm muted on the other one. Oh yeah, I don't have a microphone, so that's not a
Here
problem.
comes our chairman is about to join us too, so your
Oh, good. I'm
delay
just
has been
stalling.
very
He
timely,
did.
Michael.
He called me earlier. He told me to stall for him for a while, so I'm just gonna launch it. Let me just get everything ready here before I wasn't ready on this computer. Sorry, Dick. I'm not blowing it too bad. Just give me a second. Let's see. Historical meeting. I have presentation.
Michael, I'm looking for a new architect as we speak.
Okay. All right. I just let's see. Page display. Single page view. Let's see if this works. Okay, this is good enough. I'm gonna go ahead and share the screen here.
Carl, can you hear us?
I can.
Excellent. You haven't
Oh,
missed
it started.
anything,
It's working. It's working.
Correct. See, I got it. Okay, good. Sorry that took so long.
We're just
Anyways.
getting started here to bring Carl up to date on 320 Old Stockbridge Road. This is Michael Valenti, the architect, who's actually worked on this project off and on for 9 years, so he knows some of the history.
Great.
And Dick Lobo, the owner, is also with us. And from the commission, we have Georgia, Lisa, Chantel, and me, and now you.
Yeah, sorry I'm late. I've been struggling with Zoom for 15 minutes. I don't know what went wrong.
You're not the only person in this room that's had problems too.
So continue, Michael.
Anyways, I don't know if anyone has the Houses of the Berkshires book, but this it does a pretty good summary of this building. I don't know if you've ever seen any of these photos or drawings. I'm sure I presented them at the last time I was here, and Pam probably did too.
Mhm.
But if just a quick summary of the building was constructed in 1882 into Peabody and Stearns design, and it was made for what was a kind of a wealthy 24-year-old individual who purchased the 15 acres of land in the early 1880s. And he was the son of a fairly wealthy individual and hired Peabody to design the house. It was inspired by the colonial revival design, and it was actually inspired by a house that was located down the road called the Goodrich House or Yokin. And they copied a lot of the gambrel roof styles and proportional windows and other attributes of the building. You can see here that there's this is one of the original designs of the design drawings of the front elevation. And we'll show you some more pictures later, but you can see them playing with the roof lines here. There was eventually an addition that went on the right side of this building, which eliminated that salt box type look there. But this was the original intent of the design. As we, here's the back of it. You can actually see the existing building had some pretty intricate piazza and exterior living areas, which, as I go into my presentation, we're going to be trying to kind of bring some more of that back to the building. Right now, there's currently nothing in the back there because, as you may know, back, I forget what year it was, but it was turned into a music school and open to the public for a bit there after it was a private residence. And it's now been obviously converted back to a private residence. And we've had to clean up some of the mess, which I have a bunch of photos of. Anyways, the house was basically owned for about 30 years by Charles Bullard, who was the 24-year-old who constructed it, and then he ended up kind of being a recluse and never really made himself known in public until his death. The building was then purchased by an author, Clark Voorhees, who inhabited the building and likely added those gambrel additions that you see on the right side until to inhabit his large family. And then, like I said before, it was eventually inhabited by that music school and then left to deteriorate for some time. And I'm going to show you one of my favorite pictures of the building in a moment. But before I go, I'll show you this one more that is from this is the house that it was inspired the design of it, the Yoakum house from before. But anyways, here we go. I don't know if anyone's ever seen this photo of this building, but you could tell it looks like it was overgrown in quite the almost, what's the word I would like to use, apocalyptic sense. Almost looks like something from a movie. And I give the next owner credit for cleaning it up. I think this was the building back in the probably mid 2000s, late to mid 2010s. You can see the roof was damaged. You can see, you know, a lot of the siding is pretty bad and still is pretty bad to this day.
Can I interrupt for a second?
Go ahead, sure.
So I don't remember when it was, but the building was that covered, I saw it when it went up for a public auction. They had a walkthrough. I went through it twice. And I don't, is this pre-public auction or is this after? Because then I remember they took off that covered piazza in the back, which was a
Yeah,
mess. Some of the additions were removed.
Yeah, I can tell you from my phone because I took this photo myself. Give me 1 second. But I took this photo in, let's see. Oh, it's 2018, March of 2018. I'm not sure if the public auction, I'm assuming this was at the time of the public auction. Are you?
No, I think it was earlier. I think it was more like 2012 or something around
Okay.
then that I was in it. It looked like that. It looked like
Yeah,
that original, that first picture.
This still has the piazza on the back right there, as you can see, and see the old
Yeah.
music school cafeteria auditorium building was still there. And you can see in the middle, also a big addition as well. But
Right.
generally, you can see how the place is. I mean, look at this next picture. How bad the place has been kind of ignored and dilapidated, and it was adapted for commercial use. The person that bought the building, previously, actually cleaned a lot of this up. So I'm just doing a little bit of a history lesson so you can see how far this building's actually come from the overgrown section from that first photo where, you know, if you look at this picture here, you can actually see there's trees growing on the roofs to the right inside that little gambrel section. So I just give credit to people for actually fixing it. I know there's several articles and, so, you know, it's even mentioned in the book about, you know, how everyone doubted that this place would even kind of make it at all. So I'm actually happy here today to tell you that we're going to continue working on it and bring it to the next phase here. And I hope you guys appreciate the amount of effort Dick and Karen have gone through to actually get this process rolling. They've gone farther than anyone else really has at this point. So I commend them for that. But I'll keep going with some of these photos. I just wanted to show you some of them, you know, since I have them here. You know, the fireplace is falling apart. Here's the picture of the original porch, which we actually hope to kind of replicate. It's actually since been removed, which I'll show you in the new photos. And then we actually went out today and took some new ones. So this is where it is as of about 4 hours ago. Not too much different, but you'll notice that the foundations have been kind of repointed and cleaned up. You know, you'll see that I don't think we have a picture of it, but that fireplace that was falling apart was put back together. Let's see, there's a bunch of foundation work. The
new roof.
There's been new roof on sections of the house, correct? Especially the gambrel section. I think it's entirely replaced if I recall. But you can see in the back here where they actually removed that entire music schools, like the auditorium cafeteria space, and brought it back to its original footprint, and basically just zip walled it to enclose it while we undergo repairs here. You can see the section on the left, those two gambrels, which was, you know, built we believe by the second owner there to house more of his family, and it has a small garage in it, and which was, you know, added to house an automobile, and a very small one at that point. And also, I know the previous owner, Kevin and Pamela, worked on this little addition on the back left here, which is a sunroof. But that on the inside, that entire gambrel section has been renovated into a single apartment. So the interior of that has been fixed for the most part. And we're really concentrating on this right side of the building, from the zip wall over. Continuing on, some more photos right here. So you can kind of see where all that brown zip board is where that old music building used to be. And then to the left is that new sun porch area, a deck up top, and then the egress requirement to get outside with those stairs. So here's some photos of the inside of the building right now. The previous owner completely gutted the existing building, so everything's down to the studs and ceiling joists. Not much remains in regards to any fixtures or anything of that nature. However, a lot of the stuff that was in the building has been saved. We can see the original staircase here that goes up all the way to the second floor, which has been retained, thankfully. Some more of the rooms upstairs, you can see the original mantle there still exists. The original tub and the restroom over there, which will be reconstructed, still remains. And I thought this was a neat picture. This is just a bunch of the molding and trim and other pieces of the building that were saved during the selective demolition there. It sat unoccupied for I don't know how long, a long time. So there was a lot of mold and mildew issues that needed to be remediated to kind of get it back and ready to begin construction again. A couple more photos here, just showing everything. And then I kind of get into the drawing section as this loads on your screen. Obviously, we're here today because we plan on adding more than 500 square feet to the building. This little site plan here helps kind of illustrate the what we're planning on doing in regards to additions to the building. I'll just kind of zoom in so you can see a little better. So you'll see anything in white is existing, anything in the darker gray color is proposed. So we do propose to rebuild the front entry porch. We would like to put a roof over the side entry porch, which is near dwelling unit number 2, kind of you can see the arrow there pointing to kind of both of those spaces. And then over here, we're actually planning a small addition to the garage because it's funny, this garage doesn't actually fit a car anymore in it because cars, I guess, were much smaller back then. In order to fit a real size vehicle, we're going to have to put a little addition on there just to bump it out a bit. And then you can see our larger addition is in the back here, which is just to kind of reestablish the exterior view piazza area with a screen porch and 2 decks. So with that, I'll kind of just walk you through the architectural drawings if you're interested.
Do you have any elevations of that?
I do. I have elevations of it and plans of everything. So here's the existing basement plan. Really nothing much changing down here. Just identifying the footprints of our additions. As you can see, this is the front porch there. This is the side porch, the garage down here. And then the outline of the screen porch and deck above. This is the first floor, which we've actually changed the original layout a little bit because unlike the previous house, we'd like to have a bedroom on the first floor just for access issues. So what was previously the kitchen area of the house now becomes a master suite. And then the gathering space here, we've actually kind of blown open and made it a bunch of open living and moved the kitchen area to this corner of the house here. And then you can see how we've actually added all this deck area here and then a screen porch that does join to an additional deck off the master bedroom. To the right, you can see kind of the existing renovation work that was already done, plus the garage. There's a little closet we're framing in there, but most of that area has already been finished. If anyone has any questions, feel free to interrupt me or else I'll keep going. Good. Second floor largely remains as is. We didn't really do much modification up here. Just, obviously, we've added some closets, some laundry. We've rearranged the bathroom a little bit, but the original bedrooms and sunrooms and bathroom locations remain. Overly not a huge change from the previous building design. And then I should be jumping, just nothing changing in the attic. Just so you know, we'll use it as for HVAC space and storage. Here's the proposed exterior elevations of the building. So on the left here, showing kind of the reconstructed front porch. we're hoping to do a little bit of a stone base there instead of having a wood framed floor there, just, so it's a little more robust. The windows in the project are all getting replaced with aluminum clad wood interior windows that have been designed to match the original windows. The original windows were a 12/2, generally, on the larger, and some of the smaller ones obviously a touch different, but we were very careful to, go in and actually measure all the existing opening sizes and come up with window sizes to go in all those existing openings. So we're really not proposing any exterior fenestration changes to the building. Just, we need a lot of the glass is damaged and non-operable. We've opted to buy new units that match the old units in the existing openings. So like I said, this one on the top left is that front elevation with the turret there. As you move to the right, you can see the previous kitchen, new windows in there, and upstairs. Let's see. Oh, you can see kind of the garage addition that we've put into the front. We've replicated the design of the existing garage doors that are on the building. We've just pushed everything out, and we did the roof, the line, the best we could considering the drainage. I know it's, there's this gambrel roof. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it's not the best design in regards to
Big valley.
weather, weatherproofing. So trying to make something that worked that would let us get the water off, kind of proposed for, then kind of forced us to kind of attach the gable to the side of this thing. We're also really close to the setback, so we're able to come out 8 feet with the garage. So you can see it down here in drawing number 3. It just sticks out a little bit on that elevation. Drawing number 4 here is looking kind of where that remember that picture where that dilapidated music building cafeteria was? That's kind of in place of it, looking back at the house. And you can see we've been very careful to find those arch windows that you see on those elevations from the book that I showed you. Tried to match those entirely. Let's see, I'll keep going. Here's the back, which is probably the important one. So on the left, you have the existing double gambrel. That's the subject of the previous renovation. And then on the right, again, this building has a little bit of an angle change, so I kind of show a break line there. You can see how we've added a screen porch in this kind of central section right here. And then we've done decks out on either side of that to occupy the spaces that were previously occupied by those piazzas. And then, kind of copied the window design throughout the back to see, to make it to match the original. And then this is the side. Number 3 is kind of a side view, going up the stairs onto that deck, the entries, and then the replacement of those windows. What's interesting about this side too is that there was actually a screen porch addition placed on there a long time ago, probably by that second family, and was actually demolished. And that's why you see the Tyvek on the side there. So we'll be restoring that side to the kind of the original configuration. So that kind of concludes my pictures here. I think that's it. Do I have one? Oh, this is all the windows that we had to measure and come up with for the project. I thought that was kind of a neat page, so I wanted to show you that. But that's the end of my presentation. And if you have any questions now, I'm happy to walk you back through anything or answer anything.
Is that your window schedule?
Yes, correct.
Wow.
Well, again, we spent some time. The building, the interior was already partially, pretty much all demolished. I had to go through and measure all the rough openings to come up with new windows for everything. And as you know, when you replace windows, we've got to make allowances for egress for bedrooms. And, we put a new roof back there so to make sure everything's tall enough. So we did our best to keep everything as original as possible to the original design.
Well, Michael, thank you very much. That's very helpful and very thorough. And what a big project. It's great to see it moving forward. I don't know. I don't really have I don't have any particular questions to ask myself. I mean, is there anyone else that wants a little more detail or has something to ask about this renovation?
To put a motion on the table, I would move that this is not a substantial alteration of a significant historic building as defined in the bylaw.
I'll second that.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Are we supposed to do, I don't know if we're supposed to do roll call.
We are supposed to do a roll call under the
We are.
technical
well, I'll
rules.
I'll call the roll. I can't, I mean, I don't know what Zoom is doing to me, but anyway.
I can
Uh,
stop sharing my screen. How about this? Hold on,
There you
stop
go.
share. They'll probably go back to normal for you there.
Oh, good.
Sorry about that.
See the
I just,
people.
in
Okay.
case anyone wanted to see more pictures.
All
Hi,
right,
Georgia. Marsden.
okay, and so that's, and I for me, and
Hi, Chantal
and
Ryan.
Chantal. Welcome, Chantal.
Thank you.
That's so great that you could join us. I'm glad this worked out.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Aye, Lisa Sauer.
Aye, Lisa Sauer. All right, good.
And Peter says aye in favor of his own motion.
All right, very good.
Good.
Well, that carries it. You know, we have a little bit of other business to discuss, so I think we'll just move right along, and thank you very much. We'll communicate with the Ned and the planning board to let them know that this is all fine.
Okay,
Very
We
much on
appreciate it.
behalf of Karen. On
Thank
behalf of my
you.
wife, So we really appreciate your help, and I hope you'll be proud of the job that'll be done.
It looks
looks
like it's gonna be
great.
Great. It's amazing. It's amazing that it's being saved. It really is, you know, I mean, given the
Right.
state that's been in.
It came
I
this
did
close
that.
to being the Wreckers Ball.
Yeah.
Way to
I
go.
told Dick earlier, he's worried about this going through. I'm like, I'm pretty much, the commission's gonna be pretty happy with anything that keeps the majority of the building today. So I hopefully satisfied your request.
Most definitely.
All right,
It looks like it's gonna be very nice, so.
all right.
You'll
Appreciate
be
your
invited
time.
to the open house in about a year.
Oh, wow.
Hey.
All right.
That's,
Good luck.
thank you.
All right,
Thank
thanks a
you.
lot. Okay, so now, who else is here?
So we have Jane Iredale now for the Interlaken Road, 106 Interlaken Road.
Yes, yes. Is Jane here or someone?
I'm here. Can you
Oh,
hear
you
me?
are, good, okay.
Yeah.
Great. Oh, hello, Jane. I see you loud, read you loud and clear. Excellent.
Wait a minute, let's see. There's any better? Okay.
We, you know, I don't know whether, I mean, in terms of like sharing photos of the building you're proposing to demolish, I mean, we're all, I mean, I think that, you know, it's quite visible from the road. You had some pictures, didn't you, Jane?
I did. I sent them along with the application and I
Right.
wouldn't know how to,
Don't worry about that. I don't think that's particularly of concern right now. Did you get those pictures, Peter, or?
Yes, and I
Yeah.
shared them with the commission.
Right, so we've seen them, exactly.
I'm not sure that I got this. For some reason, I went through all my stuff today and I
Oh,
couldn't find them. So
Oh.
let me just go search my, see if I just would like to see pictures. I couldn't find the application or anything.
can anybody tell me how I can share them from my phone? And then I'm happy to do that.
Can you hold your phone up to your computer screen?
Yeah.
Oh, get it close enough, we can see.
No, that's not bad.
Hold on, I might have, no, all I've got is 20 Stockbridge Road.
Well, there you
There
go.
it is. There's one.
Yeah, that's good.
Wait.
No, that's
6
great.
Interlaken Road, where is this?
It was where the sports camp was.
Oh, okay. Oh, I know where it is. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm good.
Jane's building a house there.
Okay.
And this was like,
There's another one.
this was the one building that was there for the sports camp.
All right, I know exactly where it is. That's right next to the boat ramp, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, I know where it is. I saw the house is already in progress though, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Yes, it
okay,
is.
sure. Okay. I'm
And
good.
and that this building was put up by the sports camp what are we thinking, 1960 or
Well,
something?
Bob Coakley and his son put it up in 1961.
Right,
And it served, right through the camp years, and really hasn't had any use or attention since the camp ended.
well,
Mm.
and your intention is just to get rid of it?
It is, yes. Yeah, it's really in bad shape. It would need so much work that it's just doesn't make any sense to, and it's not exactly a I mean, it was a summer building,
Yeah.
so there's nothing in there. You can see the ground through the floor when you get in, and there's no heat, no air conditioning. I think it served its point. It stored a lot of things, and
Mhm.
when it rained, the kids could get out of the rain, but has a tiny little bathroom now, and a sink, and that's really all that's in the inside.
Well, I think the issue right now is to determine whether we think it's a significant historic building. And I don't know. I mean, I think we'd have to, Peter, it doesn't show up in any kinds of,
That is correct. And there's a historic, potential historic district for Interlaken Road that goes right up to, across the street from the camp, and it's not in there.
and the Sports Camp Alumni Association hasn't contacted us?
No.
Okay,
A lot of people with some very happy memories about that camp.
I'm sure.
So, but yeah, I don't think it's a historic building. So I would make a motion that it's not a significant historic building as defined in the bylaw.
All right, here a second.
I'll second.
Okay,
Sauer seconds.
all right, very good. Well, I think, I don't know, is there further discussion? I mean, it is sort of what it is. All right, I'll do a little roll call then. Chantal, you go first because are you in favor of this?
I think it's a good idea to not see it as historically significant.
Okay, very
How
good.
about that?
All right, I'll take that as aye. Georgia,
That would be aye.
Hi, Georgia Marsden.
okay. And Lisa?
Aye, not historic,
Not historic, okay.
significant.
And Pete already made it, and I agree, this is, you're not an historic building, not a significant historic building. So very well, then off it goes. Thanks for the photographs.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I'm not so technical enough to be able to.
I don't know, I thought you did pretty well there.
That was good.
All right, well, that's great. Thank you very much, Jane, for
Thank
coming
you.
in, for zooming in, and I'm glad it all seems to have worked. I don't know what happened with mine, but the usual, like, click the link and then you go into the meeting thing wasn't happening, and
Yeah,
and
I had
everything
some
else.
trouble as well.
Yeah, but anyway, that's good. So we'll let the building inspector know that that it's okay to issue a demolition permit.
All right, thank you.
Great.
Thank you
Okay.
all very much.
Good, thank
See
you.
soon.
All right, good
Bye.
luck with your new house.
Yes, thank
Okay,
you.
good.
Bye.
All right. So yeah, I had put in this item of business, which I think is going to be, I really don't want to necessarily talk about it a whole lot, but I just want to, like, at least plant the seed, because as the planning board continues to flounder about trying to deal with the bylaw revisions that and there's various proposals. There's this new historic preservation and natural resources bylaw draft, and then there's also the there was originally an incentive to update to revise the cottage era estate bylaw. a little unclear precisely where either of those efforts are going. What we did at the planning board though last week was we hired some help. So so we've got uh, uh, um, a rep from Berkshire Regional Planning who will actually be coming in like 1 day a week to help work on some of these issues, and we're continuing an ongoing consultancy with planners in Boston who had been working on the latest draft proposal. I don't know. My personal feeling right now is, you know, is that whatever changes are going to may happen, all have to be, you know, really gone through carefully and you know, I mean, there was some concern about, you know, about trying to, you know, push things too fast and you know, if we're going to do something, you know, like one of our members said, you know, that she hoped that, you know, the process would be more incremental, which I think it's going to be. It's almost, it's got some built-in incremental. But you know, one thing that's come up, and I was asked this a couple of times, is like, what are the great estates? And is there a list? And well, indeed there is. And I sent that to everyone just a couple of hours ago, as well as this great wonking you know, document, which was prepared when they were putting the plans together for the Great Estates bylaw, but it's also Lennox too, and so that confuses matters. So I think that the short sort of Stockbridge list is probably a better one. I believe Carol Owens had a hand in that back when the bylaw came in. And you know, I mean, the same way that we determine whether you know, whether a property is historic or not, you know, I think there may be some argument to be made for, you know, us making ourselves available to the planning board in terms of if they're asking for a determination about whether a property is actually counts as a, you know, a great estate or a cottage or a estate or whatever you want to call it. And again, we're not even sure if we're going to end up with the Great Estates bylaw, you know. So
Why are they messing with it? I mean, the thing that you sent around from the planning board, the PDF that you sent,
right,
that lists, I mean, that looks like a new bylaws. Am I wrong? And it does not look like the bylaw that used to be. Is that first PDF Great Estate District bylaw that you sent around?
Just this afternoon? Wait a second.
You just sent it this afternoon, and it's got the list of the Chesterwood, Linwood, Eden Hill.
Right,
and then it has 6.6.4 and 6. Anyway, I don't, is that the old bylaw, or is that it doesn't seem like that's the old bylaw. Or is this a new draft?
This, I'll be honest with you, I haven't really looked at it, but this could be the very original one that, well, part of it, I should say, looks like the original one that was the
drafted
Attorney
by Jack Spencer.
Yes, and the Attorney General found that some errors in it and came back, and we had to take it out of the original bylaw.
Because there's some yellow arrows in this and X's in here, X'd out in yellow. So that
Right,
must
and
be
some of those things, yeah, I don't, you know, like I said, I haven't
because
really
when I was
looked
on
at
the
it.
planning board, this is not what I saw as a Great Estate bylaw. It was
Right.
different. But this seems like a very clear bylaw. I don't understand why the stupid planning board has to mess with it more. Sorry.
Well,
It's
I
been
think
bugging me for a
it all-
long, long
it all
time,
came-
clearly.
It all came down, yeah, no, I mean, exactly. It all came down to, well, there's definitely
It
voices.
happened
speaking for-
when the guy
leaving
tried
it
to
alone.
mess around with the place on 183.
That's what this is all, that's what everyone's been talking about for ages now. Oh, goodness, my
Right.
name is gone. It's so.
But
squirrely.
I feel like the bylaw, there were a few things in that bylaw that I felt could have been like made a little more clear.
Mhm.
But in general, I thought that bylaw was fairly reasonable, and I don't understand why they have to keep feeling like they need to be cutting it up all the time. So go ahead, Carl. I mean, that
Well, I
was,
don't know. I mean, and then there was a big distraction that happened with this idea of like, cluster zoning.
right.
Set aside.
But they weren't successful. Like, we had this big town meeting. I was on the planning board then, and they were not successful with that. There was a ton of people that showed up and wanted to keep the bylaw the way it was. And those people kind of put their tail between their legs and left. And now it seems like the planning board is just constantly niggling at this bylaw, which I think is fairly clear.
Good.
That's my piece. That's my 2 cents worth. Anyway.
Excellent. Well, I don't necessarily disagree with you there. I mean, I'm just feeling my way into this thing myself. And I'm sure that there are a lot of people that would agree with you.
Peter, what do you say? You're the attorney.
Well, I don't know if it's a legal question. I think that you raised some good points just about a matter of policy. I've just beamed up, at least I've tried to beam up the current cottage estates bylaw, and it does seem to be quite different from what Carl circulated. But yeah, what Carl circulated seems kind of good, which I think is what.
Yeah, I think it's really good too. I think we should adopt that, but I'm saying that it's not the bylaw that I saw when I was on the planning board.
I think I got this in the effort. It wasn't meant to be the copy of the whole bylaw. It was an effort to like find a list of what.
No, I understand that, but I don't.
And I think
recall
Jennifer,
seeing this.
I think
I don't have my old copy of
Jennifer
the
Michael,
board.
found that and then she sent it out as like, as a list as
Jennifer White did?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just, okay, so she found this and sent it out as the list of the buildings. I understand what you're saying.
So it's
Because
not,
this is not the bylaw that I read.
Yeah, I'm looking at the bylaw now. So it has, in the cottage estate section, it says a cottage estate is defined back in the definition section. So then you go to the definition section and it's a very short definition, doesn't have all these buildings listed. It just says a single lot in the R4 or R2 district consisting of no less than 80 contiguous acres, having a principal one-family dwelling dated from America's Gilded Age of approximately 1870 to 1920. So whether that would be the same or different than this list.
well, it's different. It's different because
This whole bylaw, this whole thing that you circulated is completely different than what I recall as the bylaw. But I think that this bylaw has, or this draft has portions of it that may be included in the current bylaw. There are some good things here that are not as vague as the current bylaw, but I don't know why this constantly is getting poked at, this bylaw.
yeah.
That's,
Well, I'm not interested in poking it further, frankly, but I just wanted to like sort of just raise the question. I mean, I think that if it comes to, making distinctions or advising the planning board, I don't know that we need to do anything formal, but I mean, I offered that, the Historic Preservation Commission, could make itself available. I mean, we're supposed to be talking to them anyway about stuff. So, all right. So that inconclusive little information nugget is about all I have to say on the matter right now. And if of course, like the planning board, yes. Oh, hi, Anita. Do you want to speak?
Hi, if I may, I just want to say that great estate overlay district, the original bylaw was invalidated in land court. It was
Right.
challenged by the Marion fathers, and it was
Oh,
invalidated.
really?
Oh, yeah.
So it was considered too restrictive.
Mm.
So Lisa, you're remembering the short one, which replaced it in, I believe, 2002, which was really written for Elm Court. And that was what the planning board stated. It was written to aid Elm Court, and every time it was amended, it was because Elm Court had changed their mind about what they wanted to do. And then
Oh,
eventually,
interesting.
it was changed so that it would apply possibly to DeSisto, because originally I think it was just R4, and then they had to add R2 or the other way around. Maybe
Mhm.
George
Oh,
you remember.
Interesting. I did not know that. That's very interesting. So this, the reason that I like this bylaw is because it is restrictive. I guess
Right.
I wouldn't win in land court.
But it applies to just a handful of properties now. So, but then again,
Right.
also the whole point with the Great Estates bylaw was, it was a point before Stockbridge had any other kind of historic conservation, historic preservation at all. So, so that was I think that was one of the reasons that this big effort was made to protect what was seen as kind of, an historic legacy. So it's a little hard to know, and how the, and as the 19th century, recedes, it's it's a little, I think that when the Great Estates bylaw was originally proposed, I think there was people had a more of a sense of the, the kind of continuity with that estate era. And that's not so clear anymore, I think.
Yeah, you're right, Carl. You're right.
But
You're right.
but I mean, I don't
But
know.
things may be changing because they're starting to, adaptively reuse these big old estates.
Yeah. Well, that was the
So I
intention.
mean, I'm not opposed to adaptive reuse. I just don't want them to just disappear, because
Right.
that's what makes the Berkshires the Berkshires.
Yeah, but at least now we have, this commission. So if it's going to disappear, they have to come over and talk to us first. So
Right.
we'll find out. But anyway, so I don't know. I guess I'm just asking people to, think about it a little bit, and I'm going to take a look at this document and update myself with what, I mean, we'll be talking about this cottage era bylaw forever. But I mean, I agree with you, frankly. I mean, there's a lot of there's no real reason to scrap it, I don't think. But it's just like trying to make things a little bit less confusing. And then of course they made it even more confusing with this like cluster zoning, land set aside thing, which is a lovely idea, but I'm a little worried that it is also, kind of a a
It's
tool that could be
it's
abused
always
by
manipulated.
developers.
It's
Yes,
always
exactly.
manipulated.
Right.
They say they're going to set aside, and they set aside a drainage ditch. It's always manipulated. So I know that from being on the Conservation Commission. So anyway, I still think that the bylaw as it stands it's a little vague, but I don't think it needs like intense scrutiny.
Yeah,
Well, Carl, I agree with you telling them that we're happy to help if we can help. So I
that's
think
basically all I wanted to report. Just so I'm not speaking exclusively off. And I think I mean, it could be, you could argue maybe Historic Commission should get involved, but we're the go between the Historic Commission and the Planning Board. So so that's functioning anyway. So I'll see, and I'll just say we talked about it, and sort of like no one had strong objections to helping.
Well, I think that one of the things that I would like to bring up about this is that there's been many adjustments to the original bylaw. Yes, the original was taken off the plate. However, at the former DeSisto school, it all started there with some changes when they wanted to make it into a polo club. So that's when the first amendment started to change the bylaw. I don't want to say that it was Elm Court because it really wasn't. It was for that property and what they needed to do to make it into, to have polo and so forth there.
Yeah, there.
But then we have I don't remember the date when we had that town meeting about DeSisto for the current proposal for it, and they came before the planning board with their own amendment, actually new bylaw that they wanted the planning board to
Right.
adopt, and we did not agree to do that.
And that was
agreed
more
at that
recent.
time.
So that
Yeah,
was more
we agreed
recent,
at
but
that
it-
time to keep the bylaw the way it was and not adopt their proposal. And
Right.
that, I think that's when the talk started again about changing the bylaw. And
that's where,
I
you
think
know,
at that point, the bylaw worked. It served
Right.
its purpose and people agreed with it. So,
well, but that's where, but you're right. I mean, that's where all this business started and everyone started talking about it, you know, and they're not
And-
done.
Well, and like you said, like DeSisto has 2 acres, I believe, in the front and 4 acres in the back. So that the bylaw had to be changed if they were going to do the polo to accommodate the 2 and the 4.
I see. That's good to know. Very good. All right. Well, this is all very instructive. But I'll keep you posted as to what further things happen over there at the planning board, or you can tune in on Zoom.
So Carl, should we be reading all these documents you gave us so that we're prepared for another discussion at one of our meetings?
I don't know. I mean, the huge, this big thing. I mean, Jennifer found this, and she found that list that was part of, I guess, the previous bylaw. But you know, if you've got patience, take a rainy day or whatever, cast a glance. I mean, I'm still a little, you know, I'm still a little unclear what the list is that the current bylaw definition, you know, what is on that? We think, I mean, we know it's Elm Court.
if I recall, it was just DeSisto and Elm Court left.
And Marion's, I mean, they would always be on it.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
I don't think there were any other places, and I'm just trying to remember this from the planning board when I was on it, that I don't think there's any other places in Stockbridge that currently qualified because they've either been, like, for instance, Linwood, which is now the Norman Rockwell Museum, correct?
Right.
Oh, actually, there's also the place that used to belong to Swans up on Cherry Hill. That's on that list too. That's on the list. Just what I saw, but I'm trying to think of what else is in Stockbridge that hasn't already been developed. Chesterwood, Linwood, Eden Hill,
I mean, Cherry Hill
BCD.
also, Cherry Hill doesn't have 80 acres.
Well, that's what I don't know what, this is the old list, so I'm just reading off the list.
No.
Ingleside
Doesn't have 80 acres either. I mean, the 80-acre requirement is pretty, that narrows it down.
Right.
A lot. So anyway, I mean, I guess we should all like review that. I'll find, you know, if you don't have it already, I mean, we should, you know, probably you know, I mean, if you have time, you know, take a look at the current one, and I will too. I'm behind on my homework, and you know, we'll see. I mean, it's just, I think we're going to be talking about it some more, and it's not for us to deal with it, but the planning board seems to be, you know, I don't know, inspired to shake things up or whatever. I don't know. So, or maybe not, we would just leave it alone, so.
We're glad you're there, Carl.
Yeah, all right, well, thanks a lot. Anyway, I didn't mean to take up more time with with something as vaporous as this, but I thought I should at least mention it. Anyway, anything else anyone else wants to talk about?
We have to approve the
I have
minutes.
some,
Oh,
I
yeah.
have something.
Ooh,
I
thank
have
you.
something I want to mention.
Yes.
The house up the street from me on 102 that we said, we agreed that they could, oh, I forget the number. They're renovating it. They've taken, and they were supposed to leave some of the siding on. I'm not sure that they haven't taken off more than what we agreed to. I'm just curious if anybody else has had a look at it. I thought they were supposed to leave some of the shakes that were ornamental up underneath the eaves. And they're gone.
Oh, on
East
Lincoln
Main
Lane.
Street.
on East Main
Lincoln
Street.
Lane, I think.
Yeah,
Well, they left
they
the,
left the gingerbread up on the top,
Right.
but I thought they were supposed to leave that roof line row.
Siding?
There's nothing we can do about it because they're gone, but I just wasn't sure
Uh-huh.
if that was something we had asked them to
Yeah,
keep and not.
I didn't have I don't have a particular recollection of that.
I thought they were gonna keep the top of the windows, like, you know, they had that ornamental piece on the top of the windows
Mhm.
also. I haven't of course, I'm
Yeah.
driving. They're gone.
The only thing that's left is the overhang kind of gingerbread, ornamental gingerbread that overhangs from the roof line. Everything else, the siding is all gone and the windows are gone.
And they're coming to or did they already go to the planning board for the
I'm sure,
addition?
I don't know about
No.
that. I mean, the house is pretty much just a shell right now.
No.
But,
No, I
there's nothing we can do about it. It's just, I can't remember what we had asked them to do and what, maybe when they got to taking the siding off, it was just all rotted. Who knows?
Mhm. Well, that
Just mentioning it.
yeah. Okay. And did everyone have a chance to review the minutes? Thanks for sending those out.
I didn't. Yeah.
I don't know, do we have, I mean, I thought they looked good. Chantal, you weren't there. Do we need to have a further, I mean, how much of a quorum do we require, Pete, to approve the minutes?
I think we can work with what we got. So I'm going to move that we approve the draft minutes of April 12 and May 24.
All right. I'll
Second.
that. Okay, George is seconding. And all right, I'm in favor. Georgia, are you in favor?
I'm in favor.
All right, Pete, how do you feel?
I'm in favor.
Okay.
And Lisa.
Lisa's in favor.
I'm in favor. I'm in favor.
And Chantal, we'll ask you in the next round of minutes. so-
That's fair.
Okay. Anyway, and big welcome to Chantal. It's very nice of you. And you see, well, I mean, I'm sure Jay's informed you, what a good group this is, but
Yes.
we
Of course.
we're happy to have a new face. So
Oh, well, thank you.
good. Did you get
Interesting.
sworn
Interesting
in?
work. Yeah. What's that?
Did you get sworn in?
I was sworn in this morning.
Oh,
It's
good.
been a very
Okay,
exciting day.
great.
Yes.
Very good. All right. Well, I'm glad that went sort of smoothly. And
So just on another note, on swearing in, I found out that the selectmen now are appointing different members of the Historic Preservation Commission on different years. They've,
to do a
done that.
rotation.
right, on a rotation. So whoever is appointed and every year will have to get re-sworn in.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
that means me. I'll have to go get re-sworn in because I got a call asking if I wanted to be reappointed to, so does that mean I need to get sworn in again, Georgia?
Yes, Lisa.
Okay. So I have to go to the town hall or
Yes.
is it open? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And where do I do that? What, I
In the
forget.
town,
With the
in the
clerk.
town clerk's office.
Town
Yeah.
clerk? Okay.
Yeah. Well, Terry will.
And then I
Good
never really, when I first got on this commission, they didn't really tell me how long the the time was.
It's like
How
3
long am
years.
I on the, what is it?
Every 3 years.
I think I've been on it at least 6 or 7 already.
Oh, my gosh.
The bylaw provides that if no appointment is made to replace you, your term continues. So
We've
Oh,
been operating on that.
But
basis.
we've been operating on that, but now the selectmen have done years for all of us
Right.
good.
somehow and randomly. And so then now, every year, whoever gets reappointed will have to go in and get sworn in.
okay.
Excellent.
Well, good to know. Anyway, any further discussions? Well then, can I entertain a motion to adjourn?
Second,
All right, all in favor?
Hi.
Aye, all right. Well, thanks a lot, and I'm gonna go back to my work. So, I really appreciate all your time. Okay,
thank
Thanks,
you.
Carl. Bye.
okay.
Bye.
bye-bye.